Assalamu alaikum dear students, class 12 unit organic compounds containing nitrogen और टॉपिक is chemical properties of amines। पिछले वीडियो लेक्चर में हमने डिस्कस किया था what are the various physical properties of the amines, and then we have the first important physical property or chemical property of the amines, that is the basic nature of the amines। आज का टॉपिक जो है that's regarding the other chemical properties of amines। उसमें से नंबर फर्स्ट है that is reaction with electrophiles। Now what is an electrophile? Electrophile is a substance which is deficient of electrons। क्योंकि amines जो होते हैं उन पर क्या होता है, lone pair of electrons which is available for donation, so they act as bases। So bases they act as nucleophiles because they contain the lone pair of electrons and hence they react with electrophiles and form the stable compounds। अब ये electrophile कौन कौन सा हो सकता है? electrophiles में हम पढ़ेंगे reaction number first with metal ions। Number second पढ़ेंगे हम reaction, that's reaction with alkyl halides RX। Number third reaction with acyl halides, and number fourth reaction with chloroform। इसी तरह से बाकी रिएक्शंस हैं हमारे पास, दैट्स रिएक्शन विद एल्डिहाइड्स एंड कीटोन्स, रिएक्शन विद कार्बन डाइसल्फाइड, रिएक्शन विद ग्रिग्नार्ड्स रिएजेंट एटसेट्रा। सबसे पहले हम डिस्कस करेंगे व्हाट इज द रिएक्शन और रिएक्शन बिटवीन एन एमाइन एंड ए मेटल आयन। व्हेन amines are added to metal ions, mostly the transition metal ions, salts of the transition metal ions, soluble coordination compounds are formed। Number A, when amines are added to metal ions, ब्रैकेट में हम लिखेंगे that is the coordinate these transition metal ions soluble coordination compounds are formed। For example, अगर हमारे पास है silver chloride, it reacts with amines that are NH2 primary amine। It gives us a coordination compound that is the RNH2। ये coordinate bond बनाता है किसके साथ? सिल्वर के साथ, and it gives us a soluble coordination compound। तो यहाँ पर आपने लिए twice here, it is 2 times। No, it's not 2 times, same time। So we have the number first reaction of the amines, that's the reaction with electrophiles। First electrophile जो हमारे पास है that's a metal ion, transition metal ion। When we add amines to that transition metal ion, here we have the transition metal ion that is the silver, and it forms soluble coordination compound with that of the silver। This is first। Number second, now we have the second important reaction। पहली आपने याद रखा, पहली रिएक्शन जो है दैट्स रिएक्शन विद मेटल आयंस, प्राइमरी अमाइन्स के साथ रिएक्ट करता है, रिजल्ट्स द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ सॉल्युबल कोऑर्डिनेशन कंपाउंड। नंबर सेकंड है रिएक्शन विद अल्काइल हैलाइड्स। रिएक्शन विद अल्काइल हैलाइड्स, अगर हम प्राइमरी हैलाइड्स को ऐड करेंगे, अल्काइल हैलाइड्स सेकेंडरी अल्काइल अमाइन्स आर फॉर्म्ड, एंड देन we are adding the excess of amine, these alkyl halides, to these amines primary by the primary, secondary and the tertiary and quaternary ammonium salts are formed। And this reaction where we convert the primary, secondary and the tertiary amines into quaternary ammonium salts by the reaction with excess of alkyl halide. That reaction is called as the exhaustive alkylation reaction. So we have reaction with alkyl halides. B. Reaction with alkyl halides. रिएक्शन विद अल्काइल हैलाइड्स, प्राइमरी अल्काइल हैलाइड प्राइमरी अमाइन है हमारे पास. It reacts with alkyl halide RX and gives a secondary alkyl halide as R2NH minus HX. This is our primary amine, this is our secondary amine. From primary amines, the secondary amines are formed, and if we add again alkyl halide to it, because we are using the alkyl halide in excess, where tertiary alkyl halides are formed. Tertiary alkyl halide. And it again reacts with alkyl halide and gives us quaternary ammonium salts. Quaternary ammonium salt. Now this process of conversion of primary, secondary, tertiary amines into quaternary ammonium salts by the action of excess of alkyl halide, this is called exhaustive alkylation reaction. Now what is exhaustive alkylation reaction? It is simply the reaction of the amines, primary, secondary and tertiary amines, with that of the alkyl halides, with that of the excess of the alkyl halides, where primary, secondary and tertiary amines are converted into the quaternary ammonium salts. This reaction is called as exhaustive alkylation reaction. This was the second important reaction of the these amines with alkyl halides. Now we have the third reaction of the amines, that is with acid halides. Number third है, first one was metal ion, second one that is alkyl halides, number third that's reaction with third reaction जो है, that's reaction with third reaction with acid halides. यहाँ पर प्राइमरी और सेकेंडरी अमाइनस जो होते हैं, they react with acid halides and results the formation of N and N disubstituted amides are formed. Tertiary alkyl halides जो होते हैं, they do not react with these acyl halides, क्योंकि उनके पास नाइट्रोजन नहीं होता है, which will come out with that of the halide ion. So only the primary and the secondary amines जो होते हैं, they react with alkyl acid halides and result of the formation of amides. Number first है इसमें 1 degree and 2 degree amines upon reaction with acid halides form N substituted amides. For example, RNH2, ये है प्राइमरी अमाइन हमारे पास. It will react with RC double bond OX. One hydrogen atom, it will come out with this X as HX. And then we have RNH C double bond OR. This is amide, N substituted amide. Now if we have secondary amine, that is RNH2 NH, result reacts with RC double bond OX, gives us minus HX. यहाँ पर ये हाइड्रोजन और ये X बाहर निकलेगा, तो यहाँ पर क्या बनेगा, RNC double bond OR. It is NN di substituted amide. एन इसीलिए यहाँ पर एन ही है, एन सब्स्टिट्यूटेड एमाइन, क्योंकि एक हाइड्रोजन एटम एमाइनो ग्रुप का रिप्लेस हुआ है बाय द अल्काइल ग्रुप, सो इट इज एन सब्स्टिट्यूटेड, ओनली वन alkyl group is attached. Here two alkyl groups are attached to the nitrogen, so it is n comma n dialkyl amide. However, tertiary amines जो होते हैं, that is R, N, H और 3NN, they do not react with amides, क्योंकि उनके पास हाइड्रोजन नहीं होता है, which will come out with that of the halide ion. So tertiary amides जो होते हैं, tertiary amides do not react with tertiary amines do not react with acid halides. प्राइमरी और सेकेंडरी रिएक्ट करते हैं क्योंकि उनके पास हाइड्रोजन एटम होता है एंड रिजल्ट्स द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ द एन सब्स्टिट्यूटेड एमाइड्स, व्हाइल एज टर्शियरी एमाइड्स जो होते हैं हमारे पास, दे डू नॉट रिएक्ट विद दैट ऑफ द एसिड हैलाइड्स, क्योंकि उनके पास हाइड्रोजन एटम नहीं होता है. हाउएवर एरोमेटिक एमाइड्स जो होते हैं, दे टू रिएक्ट विद दैट ऑफ द these acid halides, but the reaction takes place in presence of a catalyst or in presence of an acid or in presence of aqueous sodium hydroxide. Aromatic amines also react. Aromatic primary amines, that is aniline. Aromatic primary amines, aromatic amines react with acid halides in presence of catalyst or H2 or acid H2SO4 or aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide and formamides. For example, we have C6H5NH2. This is our aniline. It will react with acyl halides, acid halides, and result in the formation of R, C6H5NH, C double bond OR minus HX. So यहाँ पर क्या बन गया? N substituted amide is formed. So this is the number third category, the third type of the reaction shown by the amines with that of the acid halides, where we get what amides are formed. Now we have another reaction, that's reaction with aldehydes and ketones. Reaction with aldehydes and ketones. Number fourth reaction जो है, that is reaction with aldehydes and ketones. Reaction with aldehydes and the ketones. Number first reaction जो primary amines होते हैं, they react with aldehydes and results the formation of azomethine, or that is called as the Schiff's base, or that is called as anyls are formed when 1 degree amines are treated with aldehydes and ketones, azomethine or anyls are formed, which is also called as Schiff's base. Now you have the amine, that is RNH2. It will react with that aldehyde, that is R at C double bond O. It will come out, क्योंकि ये रिएक्शन हमने aldehydes में ऑलरेडी से डिस्कस की है, while Shuffle's base is formed. Water is removed and we have R and double bond C, R and H. This is Shuffle's base. Shuffle's base is formed. So you have the reaction of the primary amines with aldehydes and the ketones via the azomethane. This is called azomethane or anyl, or it is also called as the Shuffle's base. While as secondary amines जो होते हैं, they react with secondary amines जो होते हैं, they react with those aldehydes and the ketones which form the, which possess the alpha hydrogen atoms, where first the carbonolic acid is formed, which is unstable, and then it loses a water molecule and results the formation of the amines are formed. First with primary amines Shuffle's base is formed, while as secondary amines जो होते हैं, they react with aldehydes and ketones, लेकिन उनमें क्या होना चाहिए, अल्फा हाइड्रोजन एटम होना चाहिए. Secondary amines upon reaction with aldehydes and ketones possessing alpha hydrogen atom first form carbinol amine, which is unstable, and loses water molecule and form stable amines, ENAMINES, and amines are formed. We have R CH2 C double bond OR. This is a ketone which possesses the alpha hydrogen atoms. Now it reacts with secondary amine R and R2NH, and it gives me RCH2C. It is OH R and R2N. This is called as carbinol amine, which loses a water molecule. कौन सा water molecule? ये है OH और इसका एक हाइड्रोजन एटम बाहर निकलेगा as water. We have R C double bond C R and NR2. This is called as an amine. Amines are formed. So we have the reaction of the amines, primary and secondary amines, with that of the aldehydes and the ketones. In case of the primary amines, the Shuffle's base is formed, while as in case of the secondary amines, the amines are formed. Now we have the another reaction, that's reaction with chloroform, where that chloroform, it reacts with amines in presence of the alcoholic solution of potassium hydroxide, while isocyanide are formed, which possess an unpleasant smell. That reaction is called, that is the reaction of the amines with the chloroform, which is also called as the carbylamine test reaction. We have the fifth reaction, that is reaction with chloroform. Reaction with chloroform. Amines react with chloroform. Amines react with chloroform in presence of alcoholic solution of potassium hydroxide, where isocyanates are formed possessing an unpleasant smell. This reaction is called carbyl amine test reaction. Now, what do you mean by carbyl amine test reaction? It is simply the reaction of the amines with that of the chloroform in presence of the alcoholic solution of potassium hydroxide, where these isocyanates are formed. We have RNH2. It reacts with CHCl3 in presence of alcoholic solution of potassium hydroxide. It gives me RN double bond C double bond, that is O plus isocyanate. Isocyanides are formed. Cyanates are formed plus water plus potassium chloride. Here you have water, it's 3 times. Here you have 3 times. Isocyanates are formed. Isocyanides are formed which possess an unpleasant smell. That reaction is called as the carbylamine test reaction. Now we have उनका जो order होता है, order that is they possess the unpleasant smell. That's reaction of the amines with chloroform in presence of the alcoholic solution of the potassium hydroxide, while isocyanides are formed. Then we have the reaction with Grignard's reagent. With Grignard's reagent they generally form the hydrocarbons, क्योंकि उनके पास क्या होता है, एक्टिव हाइड्रोजन होता है. किनके पास, amines के पास होता है active hydrogen. Active hydrogen is atom is that hydrogen which is directly attached to the electronegative elements such as nitrogen, oxygen and fluorine. कोई हाइड्रोजन अगर अटैच्ड होगा इन इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव एलिमेंट्स के साथ, तो दैट हाइड्रोजन एटम इज कॉल्ड एज एक्टिव हाइड्रोजन एटम. सो दीज एमाइन्स, इनमें क्या होता है, एक्टिव हाइड्रोजन एटम होता है दैट रिएक्ट्स विद Grignard's reagent and form the hydrocarbons. So we have reaction with hydrocarbons. Reaction with Grignard's reagent, not hydrocarbons. Reaction with Grignard's reagent. When Grignard's reagent is added to amines, hydrocarbons are formed. Carbons are formed. So here you have RNH2 reacts with Grignard's reagent RMGX and it gives me RH plus RNHMGX. इसका एक हाइड्रोजन एटम बाहर निकला इस R के साथ, तो RH यहाँ पर क्या रह गया, RNHMGX के साथ बाहर निकला, तो ये क्या बन गया यहाँ पर, हाइड्रोकार्बन. This is the reaction of the amines with Grignard's reagent. When Grignard's reagent is added to the amines, hydrocarbons are formed. This is the another reaction of the amines, another reaction shown by the amines. Now we have the reaction with phosgene. Reaction of amines with phosgene. Reaction, it is perhaps the 7th reaction. Reaction with phosgene. Phosgene की फॉर्मूला है COCl2, कार्बोनिल क्लोराइड. ए। नंबर 1 जो है इसमें, अगर प्राइमरी अमाइनस अगर हम लेंगे तो दे रिएक्ट विद एलिफेटिक अमाइनस अगर हम लेंगे तो दे रिएक्ट विद फॉस्फेजिन एंड रिजल्ट्स द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ द सब्स्टिट्यूटेड यूरिया। वाइल एज अगर हम एरोमेटिक अमाइनस लेंगे तो दे फॉर्म द आइसोसायनेट्स आर फॉर्मड with aromatic amines. So aliphatic amines upon reaction with phosgene results the formation of substituted urea. You have reaction that is RNH2 reacts with COCl2, gives me what? RNH, C double bond O, NH and R. Here we have HCl twice. Here you have 2 times. This is substituted urea. Substituted urea is formed. So aliphatic amines जो होते हैं they react with phosgene and results the formation of substituted urea, whereas aromatic amines जो होते हैं they react with the phosgene and form the isocyanates are formed. B. Aromatic amines upon reaction with phosgene COCl2 gives us phenyl isocyanate is formed. Phenyl isocyanate is formed. Gives us phenyl isocyanate. Is not formed. It gives us phenyl isocyanate. So aromatic amines जो होते हैं they react with phosgene and give the phenyl isocyanate. We have reaction that is we have C6H5NH2 reacts with COCl2, gives me C6H5NH COCl माइनस HCl यहाँ से, फिर ये हाइड्रोजन और ये Cl बाहर निकलेगा एज HCl एंड वी हैव C6H5O and double bond C double bond O, isocyanate is formed. So we have the reaction of the amines with that of the phosgene. We have the reaction of the amines with phosgene. Aliphatic amines जो होते हैं they react with phosgene and results the formation of substituted urea, while as the aromatic amines जो होते हैं they react with phosgene and results the formation of phenyl isocyanate. आज हमने reactions chemical reactions डिस्कस की है amines की. Number first reaction, that is reaction with electrophiles. We have the reaction with metals where the coordination compounds are formed, stable coordination compounds are formed. Number second, we have the reaction of the amines with that of the alkyl halides where primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary ammonium salts are formed. That reaction is called exhaustive alkylation reaction. Then we have the reaction with acid halides where the N-substituted amides are formed. Then we have reaction with aldehydes and ketones where with aldehydes and ketones primary amines जो होते हैं they give us the Schiff's base, while as secondary amines जो होते हैं हमारे पास they react with amines. Secondary amines जो होते हैं they react with aldehydes and ketones which possess alpha hydrogen atom and results the formation of what? results the formation of amines are formed. Then we have the carbyl amine reaction. Carbyl amine reaction में क्या होता है कि amines जो होते हैं they react with chloroform in presence of potassium hydroxide and results the formation of isocyanides are formed which have a characteristic unpleasant smell. Then we have the reaction with Grignard's reagent where the hydrocarbons are formed. Then we have the reaction with phosgene when substituted urea is formed when we treat the phosgene with primary amines, aliphatic amines, and when we add phosgene to aromatic amines, the isocyanates are formed. Now we have the last reaction in this category which we will discuss in the next video lecture, that's reaction with carbon disulfide. उसी में आपको आता है Huffman's mustard oil reaction. Thank you so much.